Hi, welcome to first devlog of Project Blank. And you may ask, what is Project Blank? So first of all, it is a temporary name. I promise I think of better one. And gameplay wise, it will be something like an escape game kind of room. It will be primarily focused on puzzles. And each level will have its own little story. Nothing complicated, but interesting. Now that we know what I have in mind for this game, let's see what I did this month and what I'm currently working on. First thing we need to do is to create a player. I did so with Unity's XR toolkit. Now I know it doesn't seem like much, but wait, improvement is coming. Next up are controllers. Thanks to XR toolkit, implementation wasn't too hard, so now I have 2 cubes for hands. After this, I figured out how to grab things and release them. I must admit, I had a little problem with physics. At first, the hands aren't colliding with the ball, and then out of nowhere they start colliding. I didn't understand at all. But eventually I figured it out. Then I tried to implement hand physics. Bruh. And it went well? Let's be honest, I can't afford to solve this, so hands won't have physics. I hope you understand. Next thing on a list were animations for hands. So I borrowed animations and hands from Oculus's development kit. Of course, I'll change this later. Alright, now that we can move objects, let's move ourselves. So for now I implemented simple teleportation movement. Smooth locomotion will be added in the future once I figure out how. Okay, we have a functional player, let's build a first level. I would imagine a smaller room with a table. Maybe a locker, something here to maybe calculate, some type of generator for color, obviously the doors, alright, something on the desk, what else? Yeah, I think it's a good concept. To the blender. After taking my imagination to another level, I came up with this render. This level will be built around a simple story. You will be acting as a guard of a museum, and your task will be to guard some priceless artifacts. And my next task will be to make this room functional. I started with objects, having physics while they're grabbed. Then I continued to functional keycard and card reader on a wall. After that I tried to get a generator working, which went almost well. Then I had some problems with a jerry can and gas pouring. The particles were really acting weird and I didn't manage to get them colliding with a trigger. So filling up the generator won't be possible for now. Next up was a screwdriver mechanic, and wow, this was a tough one. I spent on this almost a week because I had so many bugs, and even though I tried to make it feel natural, it isn't there just yet. Basically how it works is that I'll pick up a screwdriver, and when it's near the screw, it starts spinning and tells the screw to move away from the object until it collides with stopping trigger. After that I started working on locks. First lock I had to program was a simple lock with a key. I wanted the drawer to be locked until the correct key is inserted into lock. So what I've done is basically I've prepared 3 empty objects and I'm moving the drawer to their position according to its state, either to a locked one, the open one, or a closed one. Everything is done with a sort of animation. When I figured out how to lock and unlock drawers, I could begin work on a code-based lock, which was pretty easy. I just have a collider and spinning the cylinders when index finger is colliding with a trigger. But back to monitors, they are fully functional. You can switch channels, you can switch them on and off. It's great. Solution to this wasn't just laying out there. What I'm doing here is just offsetting the texture, but it wasn't really working at first, because in Unity, if you're offsetting the emission texture, it isn't the same if you are offsetting the base texture. It took me a while to discover this, so I spent quite some time on this, and it was just stupidly simple. Last but not least, I've created this whiteboard and markers so you can write messages or something important you don't want to forget. For example, a message like this. And I guess this is all for this devlog. I hope you liked it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you for watching.